Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 14th, 2025, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing S&P 500, that's SPY, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's jump over to these charts and see what we see. Let's zoom in here on this quarterly chart, maximize this. I usually slide this over a little bit so how that looks on the other stuff. And what we see here on this quarterly chart is still just like on the Qs. We see like a bullish engulfing at the top, in the right location, not at the right location, but being a bullish location in this market is good, and back above pivot and all. And then we're fighting, trying to make all-time highs. Like I say, I don't know if it's going to happen this month or this quarter, because we're going to look like we want to fight up here for a while. It might take all year, based on what's going on in the country at this time. But that's what I see right here, right now. Let's go ahead and go down to the monthly chart. And on this monthly chart, we have gotten back up above the 9-10 moving average. That's this blue line right here. This is light blue line right here. This is my 9-10 moving average. But above that, we say technically we are in a bull market. Below that, technically we are in a bear market. But now we are actually above that. The only thing that's significant here, we got above this quarterly R1 and we pulled back down below. And we couldn't break these highs, as we can see. So again, there's a lot of selling pressure up here and all. So like I said, it could take us a little while before we actually break all-time highs and all. But let's go ahead and go down to this weekly chart and see what we see there. On this weekly chart, let me zoom in here. I want to make sure I keep that high in place. On this weekly chart, the nice thing that we're seeing here, even though we had a red week, we've had a red week closing with almost a hammer like up here at the top. We do have higher lows and higher highs, and still on this monthly pivots, we just couldn't break this R1 level. So again, that's this whole supply up over here that we're fighting to get above. Like I said, it might take a couple of weeks up here before we actually break that high, if we're going to break that high. The thing is, again, come next week, we don't want to see this candle forming a candle up here and giving us an evening star. And so we're going to be on the watch for that. Come next week. But let's go ahead and go down to the daily chart and see how things look there, because that's what's going to kind of like give us a little better look of what's happening here come next week. So let's go to this daily chart. Zoom in a little bit here, and we know that because I want to see. This is what's kind of scary this past. I don't know what happened Thursday after the market closed. I'm not that big on the news, and it might be all because of all the stuff that's going to happening this weekend now, and the market might be getting spooked again, and who knows. But we had that big push down pre-market, and then the market ended up continuing to push down all day Friday. Not all day Friday. As you can see, it did go up a little higher, then it ended up selling off by the end of the day, and then pull back a little bit. So, and the thing was, we were in a pretty good, nice uptrend until for the first part of the week, but we hit that R1. This is the R1 level for last week, weekly pivots and all, and we couldn't break that. And again, it also ties into the supply that we have back over there too. Let me see if I can get that into the picture. Yeah, there it is, getting that into the picture. The supply is up here, but we're nowhere close. We're still we're about over 10 points away from that. But like you said, that's a heavy supply that's up here in this market, and this back over here when this market actually sold off. So I'm getting where I can see that it might take some time and all before this market actually, break and make all-time highs, getting above, 610 on the SPY here. So we just kind of, I had told the trader before it was going to have a hard time here around the 600 number anyway. So and we're seeing that. So we have to kind of like just be patient, based on your trading plans and your trading strategy, trade accordingly. You're trading at a top. If you have something about trading at a top, turn to that page in your book and activate those strategies, because that's what's happening right now. We're trading at a top with a lot of supply back there in the market, and this market could hang out here for a while. And that's pretty much all I really have to say here on this. Well, come next week, see, this is the other thing. Come next week, look like we will be opening. Let me go back here. We will be opening below pivot. Look like we're going to open it in this area here somewhere. And the other thing here come next week, we could pull back a little bit more down to this support level here. I don't see anything significant back here other than a gap way down here. I don't expect the market to do that next week. I don't expect it, but anything can happen where the market will come all the way down to a support 3 level on the weekly pivots. It hasn't been doing that here lately, so I don't expect it to do it here come next week unless some crazy news comes out and we get a crazy drop. But as you can see, I'm more concerned about this market actually turning over, because it has given us an indication that it does want to turn over and is having a hard time going higher. So be cautious. That's all I can really say, and that's all I really want to share at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll chat with you next week. Have a good one. Bye.